I can no longer count how many times I have tried to film a video reviewing this book. 2010, The Second Odyssey by Arthur C. Clarke. First time I got the name wrong. I said the name of the film and not the book. Second time I had a stain on my shirt. If you haven't been living in a hole since the 60s, you probably remember the film by Stanley Kubrick, directed by Stanley Kubrick, 2001: A Space Odyssey. It was, for the 60s, one of the most influential science fiction films. It remains today one of the most influential science fiction films ever made. I don't think we would have had Star Wars if it weren't for this. I mean, basically Star Wars is 2001: A Space Odyssey plus the epic Western films of the day, of the 60s, mashed together into one plot. That's what you got. That film was awesome. You should watch it. Now, as far as this book, it is actually more a sequel to the film than to the book. Just to be clear, more a sequel to 2001: A Space Odyssey, the film, than it was to the book, which I have read, 2001: A Space Odyssey, but I haven't reviewed it yet, so I have to read it again. Anyway, I've never seen the whole film, 2010. It kind of flew under my radar. I can tell you that I enjoyed the first book more than I enjoyed the second book. This picks up a few years after the first book. The Discovery 1 is derelict in space. It's going to crash. They've got to go out there. They've got to save it. It's very important to humanity that the ship be recovered. So the United States and the USSR, yes, the USSR is still a thing. Putin would love this. In this book, so that they get together on a Russian spaceship and they go out there to save the Discovery. Now here's the thing. The original book had more HAL 9000. That's for one. And he's a very interesting character. And then the original book had more tension in it. So whereas I started off reading this, I love the reading style. It's a very interesting book. The characters were very fleshed out in the beginning. Somewhere about a quarter of the way through, it starts to drop off. The characters are less fleshed out. They're less character-y, and the story's kind of just trudging on. You don't feel the sense of urgency the way you did in the first book. You don't feel the claustrophobia and the need to get this done, the need to discover. You've kind of found out some stuff. The first book was a mystery. What was that big black thing in space? Was it an alien device? Was it just a meteor? What was it? You don't know. You know it has something to do with the evolution of the human species, but you don't know. In this one, if you've read the first book, you know a lot more about that. And then some stuff happens. So they are giving you a little more information. If you are into this universe, reading this book is going to be important. If you're not a science fiction fan, you're probably going to shy away from this. I mean, relationships aren't a big thing, so if you're a drama fan, you're going to think, man, what's the point? This is speculation about technology. It is science speculation. It is a wonderful book for that. Arthur C. Clarke is very talented, or was, Lord rest him. But if you're not into sci-fi, this is going to bore you to tears. I give it 1 thumbs up and 1 thumbs down. That's what I give it. Now, of course, it generally, on a scale of 1 to 5, I think it rates around a 3.8. I looked that up on Amazon.com. So, generally gets reasonably favorable reviews. Not a bad book. Not a wonderful book. Not life-changing. It's no Catcher in the Rye. But you should read it if you're into sci-fi. Me, this book is old, busted up, and has some coffee stains on it, so it goes into my to-sell pile. But then I've already read it like 3 times. And the first two times, it took me forever too. So, yeah, Arthur C. Clarke, 2010, The Second Odyssey. Not bad, not great.